Welcome to the Breastfeeding at Work Infobyte Awareness Session. We hope you find this session interesting and we'd love to hear your feedback to improve the services we provide. You can email us about this or any other workforce health, safety and wellbeing topic via our email address fife.hwl5@nhs.scot. So the objectives to be covered in this InfoByte session are: realise the health benefits of breastfeeding, review related national legislation and guidance, discuss how breastfeeding can be supported at work, and achieve breastfeeding friendly status at work. Breastfeeding can provoke strong opinion due to personal experiences or beliefs, and the linked stigma or taboo can discourage those who are considering breastfeeding their child from doing so. Conversely, we know that breastfeeding can improve public health, and collectively we can all share in our responsibility to help increase breastfeeding rates through supportive conversations, policies and practices at work, which can in turn reduce stigma and taboo. Let's increase our knowledge about the health benefits of breastfeeding. Breast milk is natural and it provides all the nourishment a baby needs. When a baby is born, their immune system is not fully developed. Breast milk can help a baby fight potential infections such as ear and chest infections and tummy upsets. Evidence shows that babies who are breastfed are less likely to need to see a doctor with these illnesses. Breastfeeding provides long-term health benefits for a baby, such as lowering risk of diabetes and obesity. It is unique and produced to meet the particular needs of a baby, and it also changes as babies grow and develop. Individuals are protected by specific Scottish law, the Breastfeeding ETC Act 2005, to breastfeed or bottle feed a child in a public place until a child is 24 months old. The public place is unlimited as long as the child is lawfully permitted to be there, and this highlights the legislative responsibilities of workplaces in relation to workers and their surrounding communities too. If someone deliberately prevents the process of feeding a child under 2, they are committing a criminal offence. Furthermore, if someone who is feeding a child is asked to move to another part of the premises or leave the premises completely, this is also an offence. Anyone trying to stop a child being fed can be prosecuted, and if found guilty, ordered to pay a fine. When a child is more than 24 months old, a feeding mother or another carer can be protected by the Equality Act 2010 to do so. The Act protects from discrimination on the grounds of maternity and pregnancy for 26 weeks after birth, but a court may agree that even after 26 weeks, it would be considered as sex discrimination to discourage or prevent feeding. In places where a person is entitled to breastfeed or bottle feed a child, the manager or employer of a workplace is responsible for telling their workers about this right, both from an internal and service provision perspective. By law, you must have a general health and safety risk assessment for all your employees. This includes considering specific risks for employees of childbearing age, for example, those who could become pregnant, are pregnant, and new mothers. Furthermore, you must carry out an individual risk assessment when a worker tells you in writing that they're pregnant, they've given birth within the last 6 months, or they're breastfeeding, and you should review the risk assessment regularly. Health and Safety Executive has specific advice for employers on how to protect pregnant workers and new mothers. When a worker returns to work after a period of maternity leave or indeed begins working in your workplace after recently having had a child, facilitating a supportive and open conversation about their child feeding choices to identify intentions to breastfeed is recommended. Initiating the conversation may alone encourage a worker to continue their breastfeeding journey as their needs and requirements are being considered and their choices are being respected and accommodated. Consider whether you have existing workplace policies, either specifically covering breastfeeding at work, or which detail family-friendly procedures in which breastfeeding can be added to. Reviewing workplace policies and linking with legislation and recommendations could encourage pregnant workers to consider breastfeeding as an option for them and encourage the continuation of breastfeeding on their return to work. If you'd like assistance to develop or review breastfeeding or family-friendly workplace policies, you can contact Workplace Team for free and confidential advice via our email address fife.hwl5@nhs.scot. Health and Safety Executive offers the following advice with regards to supporting breastfeeding at work. You should provide a suitable area where pregnant mothers or breastfeeding mothers can rest. This area should include somewhere to lie down if necessary, be hygienic and private, allowing mothers to use this space to express breast milk, should include a designated area to allow mothers to store their milk as well, e.g. a fridge. Some work presents an extra risk for breastfeeding mothers and their children. This includes working conditions that could expose them to organic mercury, radioactive material or lead. You need to consider these risks in your workers' individual risk assessment for as long as they wish to continue breastfeeding. Other considerations such as the ability to continue night work after having a baby should be discussed with workers on a one-to-one basis, and further guidance can be found on specific scenarios such as this on the Health and Safety Executive website. So why become a breastfeeding-friendly workplace and establishment? As we have discussed, breastfeeding is really important to the health of both a new mother and her baby, yet Scotland still has one of the lowest breastfeeding rates in Europe. While many new mums start breastfeeding, some will stop within a few months, and this is often because they feel like there is a lack of support, particularly when they want to feed their baby outside their home, whether out at work or socialising with others, both of which should contribute also to health and well-being. You can make a difference by demonstrating your workplace support for those who choose to breastfeed in your establishment, either as workers or customers. There is a breastfeeding-friendly establishment scheme, which you can sign up to as an organisation, demonstrating your support and meeting the criteria listed here on the slide. Helping mums to feel more confident when breastfeeding means they are more likely to continue breastfeeding for longer. This will benefit both their health and their babies. Organisations who have signed up for the Breastfeeding Friendly Establishment scheme support feeding within their establishments and would be confident to explain the scheme to anyone on their premises if questions arise. We hope this InfoByte session has been helpful to you and your workers. There are many further reliable sources of information which explore breastfeeding, related legislation and workplace guidance, some of which are listed here on this slide. You can access a further information and resources sheet from Workplace Team by emailing us at our email address fife.hwl5@nhs.scot. Do not hesitate to contact us if we can assist you further with your workforce health, safety and wellbeing requirements.